Welcome to UFO Buster Radio. I am Manny Moonraker, and let's get this episode started. Hey, this is episode number 138 of the UFO Report. I'm Manny Moonraker. I said I was going to be back on Halloween. Yes, I remember that, but that was the trick. So trick, and here's your treat. I'm back today, Friday, November 2nd, to talk about an oldie but goodie. And actually, we talked about this last October. But before we get there, let me just say this, that it is time for the 2018 Rubber Dickies. Nominate your Rubber Dicker of the Year. Someone that you think has done wrong for ufology. Someone that's been taking you for your money. You've purchased like 15 books and you still don't know what the hell is going on. That's right. UFOBusterRadio.com. Go in there. There is a text box. Free-form text box where you can input all kind of shit, specifically the name of who you're nominating, because without that, we're not going to get anywhere. But put in your name. Put in the reason why you are nominating that individual as a potential Rubber Dicker of the Year. In addition to that, if you have a personal Rubber Dicker in your life that would like to receive another award for a personal Rubber Dicker of the Year 2018, maybe a coworker or a family member that says you're plumb crazy because you believe in UFOs and ufology, you can nominate them too. First and last name and a little bit of why you think they would win the first ever personal Rubber Dicker award. And listen, I'm thinking of nominating a few people myself just for the heck of it because I can. But go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Check it out. UFOBusterRadio.com. Just look for the picture that says the Rubber Dickies. You see a little trophy, little alien, and right under that is a text box. All you do is you fill in the text box. You can use your phone to do it. You hit submit, and that's it. I'll get it. Now keep in mind, this is just to have them on the slate, as they say, for people to vote on. And this will be extended. The nomination round will be extended until Sunday. And then that's it. You can't nominate anybody after Sunday. After that, it's voting time. And when you vote, you can pick up the two names. I can tell you right now, we've got 5. 5 people have been nominated for Rubber Dicker of the Year. So the voting is going to be fun. I assume that it'll start on November 10th. That'll give me a few days to get a page up dedicated to those Rubber Dickers on the slate. And then you guys can go in and have at it and vote away to your little heart's content. But we will have a 2018 Rubber Dicker. That is for sure. And listen, there's no harm done, right? I mean, it's all in fun. Yeah, they rubber dick ufology in some way, but it is what it is. You can't, be all serious about it and all mad and shit, because that's not cool. Not at all.
You're listening to UFO Buster Radio, and I have a question for you. Do you like to go fishing, or do you want to learn how to fish? Well, I have the answer for you. Whether you're an avid angler or just starting out, Angling Waters Outdoors is the place to learn and advance your fishing skills. I'll be your guide, Marty Angler. And I'm not just a bass fishing tournament angler, but I also like to fish for other species as well. I'll help guide you through the different methods and baits to help you catch more fish all year long. So catch me at Angling Waters Outdoors here on Spreaker. Now back to UFO Buster Radio and my friend Manny Moonraker.
Hey, listen, if you guys want to vote Marty Angler into the 2018 Personal Rubber Dickies, sure, go ahead. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. He'll probably go in there and put his own name in there. But that's what you can do. I personally believe that Marty Angler from Angling Waters actually does believe in ufology and UFOs and things being 4.2 far. But, what the heck? Just throw somebody in there. I don't care who it is. Just do it. So anyway, today's story for episode number 138 is about a UFO mystery 40 years unsolved coming out from down under in Australia. You know, where they eat the Vegemite. 40 years ago, the man by the name that you guys know as Fred Valentich, who was a pilot out of the Cape Otway, a Victorian pilot by that. Now he had more than a few hours under his belt, but the story goes that 40 years ago he went out. He went out to do a little flight and he reported some crazy stuff. 40-year anniversary, so people are researching and talking about it. But this year there was a bit of a report here because turns out that his fiancée from 40 years ago decided to come out, and she had a couple words to say. And as always, the article is in the description for you, so if you want to click and look at the article yourself and maybe even check out pictures that they have of Mr. Valentich there, you can. Rhonda Rushton actually spoke out recently, in her words, admitting that she was really taken back by the tragedy and really has been struck and hurt ever since. She hasn't gotten over it. She says that she found it all a bit strange. A lot of it is because despite the fact that Fred Valentich plotted his course over the Bass Strait, he said that the 20-year-old at that time, he admitted that he was fearful about flying over water. 4.2 far. Honestly, listen, I'd rather fly over water than fuck up and crash on land, because maybe you have somewhat of a chance of surviving water. Well, I guess the landing, after that, they'll eat you alive. Especially in Australia. You just got a lot of great whites out there. So besides the fact that Mr. Valentich had, at one point 40 years ago, admitted to his then fiancée that he was afraid of flying over water, she also says that his report that many people have been saying was a bunch of baloney before he disappeared, that it was true. She says that he was not a liar by nature. He was very honest. He was a very truthful man. Heck, that's why he was going to marry him. But here's the thing. What happened on that fateful day is that Mr. Valentich, on October 21st, 1978, he said he came across something really weird. He reported to Melbourne Air Traffic Control that he was being followed by a long metallic unidentified aircraft. Isn't that the way it always goes? So the aircraft had 4 bright lights, and at times it moved at high speeds. He even, in fact, said that it even moved 3 times faster than he was. And it kind of orbited around the plane, like it was screwing with him. And this was his report right before he disappeared. Specifically, it says, "It seems to me that he's playing some sort of game," he told air traffic controllers. "He's flying over me 2-3 times at a time at speeds I could not identify." And then it says, "Melbourne, Delta Sierra Juliet, it's not an aircraft." Wow. These are the stories that last forever. 40 years unsolved. No one knows what happened. many people were saying, and some people still say today, that Mr. Valentich faked his death. Or that he was wet behind the ears. He crashed because he wasn't a seasoned pilot. Whatever the case may be, it turns out that his dad, who was a firm believer in UFOs back then, also believes that his son was taken by UFOs. His father being Guido Valentich. He says what his son said is true, that he was taken by UFOs. He believes it totally. So to this day, there is a split as far as what people believe about the Fred Valentich story in Australia. Some people say it was taken. Some people say he just crashed because he wasn't a good pilot. Some people say he did it on purpose. The one thing you won't find in the story, because it was actually written by some UFO researchers, was the following. And this is fascinating because there was an investigation into Valentich's crash 5 years after it happened, July of 1983. There was some debris found, an engine cowl flap, around the island Flinders. The Bureau of Air Safety Investigation, they asked for help from the Royal Australian Navy Research Laboratory. Try to say that 4 times. What they asked for was help in identifying whether or not there was a likelihood that the cowl flap might have traveled from where Valentich was last reported to where it was at that time. What's funny is, and kind of coincidental, that the Bureau noted that the part has been identified as having come from a Cessna 182, which happens to be the model and make of the plane that Valentich was flying, and that in addition, the serial number range for that plane, where that piece of equipment came from, included Valentich's aircraft. So that's just, it's not to say that Valentich, wasn't taken. It's not to say that he didn't see what he reported that he saw. But his plane more than likely crashed. Now, could he have been warped out of there at light speed? I don't know. But it's a possibility that they did find a piece of his plane. But that still does not resolve the mystery of Fred Valentich in Australia on that fateful October 21st day in 1978. Click the link in the description if you want to find out more about what these UFO investigators were looking for when it came to Fred Valentich and his disappearance. Don't forget to vote for UFO Buster Radio's 2018 Robert Dickey nomination. And as they say, follow me on social media. Catch you next week. Ciao, people.